Aries, hi, welcome to your December 2020 reading. So I'm thinking for the first half of the month I'll do love readings, and then the second half I'm going to do career or just general messages for yourself, because I enjoy both from other readers. Yeah. So that's the plan. Should be out by mid-month, the non-love readings. Okay, so let's start with the love reading. Keep in mind, energy is fluid. This could have already happened, could be happening. Roles can be reversed. I'm just picking up energy. So put yourself where you are in the story. You'll know better than I will. Cross watchers, welcome. And if it's your story, it's your story. If it's not, it's not. If you're a cross watcher or an Aries and there seems to be some situation where there was a villain. Well, try not to get too triggered. Every story needs a good villain. I've been the villain myself a couple times. But also, too, there's sometimes very good reason for acting the way that we do. So try not to get triggered. Just take it for what it is. I'm just picking up on a general energy. Oftentimes, there's not a good person or a bad person, right? Like, both people can be at fault. So let's do recent past, the present, and the upcoming energy. I have a bunch of decks of cards out here. I don't know which ones I'm going to use yet, so I'm just going to kind of go with it. So, okay. What's the permission to ask the Oracle? Aries energy. What's the most relevant information for the Aries that I'm talking to? Let's help them out. What do they need to know, or what happened? Okay, so recent past is looking like there might have been a situation that sort of drained your life force out of you. It just kind of took away your confidence, and I think that maybe you might put a lot of effort into trying to maintain self-control. And the situation may have brought out the beast in you in a way. Yeah, I think you were trying to maintain your composure and trying to find balance and be patient and just not lose it. But I think that the beast inside might have come out a bit. Especially, let me just get a clarifier. Hold on. What is this? Three of... Okay. Yeah. Oh, sorry that I hit my thing. Okay. So I think the situation is there might have been more than one person involved in this situation as well. There seems to be like a lot of people here. A situation where I think somebody was being emotionally immature, emotionally manipulative. And I think you just really didn't know what was going on. Like, I think a part of you could sense like danger around the corner, like things were going on behind your back or people were talking behind your back, but you couldn't quite pinpoint it. Yeah, and I think it was just really confusing. And I think that you were imagining all kinds of scenarios because you couldn't quite get the answers that you needed. So it could be at work, at love, with family. I think you felt people were talking about you. But you couldn't be sure. You just had a sneaking suspicion or something here and there. And yeah, I definitely think you tried to maintain your patience. But I think, yeah, it just kind of took the wind out of your sails and knocked your confidence out. And it sort of maybe brought out like the Aries fire, the beast in you a bit, you know? Let me just grab a couple emotion cards here. See if I can get more information. Okay. So yeah, I think you were just kind of trying to hide out. I think you thought people were kind of talking about you or something was going on. And I think you were just kind of like looking for some reassurance in some way in this situation too. And I don't think that you were getting it. I think you might have been too shy to ask for help or support as well, maybe. Because maybe you didn't know who your friends were or who you could trust, type of thing. Aw, okay. Let me get a shadow card for this too. What was the shadow of this? These cards are kind of scary. Imagination. Again, so okay, I'm going to hold this up so you can maybe see it. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, so imagination. Again, so I feel like you just felt like there was like danger lurking, right? And you just couldn't quite pinpoint where it was coming from. Who was talking about you? Who was your friend? Was somebody doing something behind your back? And it was sort of like, I think your spidey senses, the hairs on the back of your neck were kind of standing up a bit, that there was some kind of something going on behind the scenes that you weren't sure of, but you couldn't quite pinpoint either. Secrets. So your imagination was kind of running wild. Again, with that strength reversed, I wonder if it was your kind of animal instincts kicking in, your intuition a bit, you know? Interesting. Okay, so let's get the current energy for Aries. They all kind of blend together, past, present, future, so it doesn't have to be, you know, exact. Sorry, I keep knocking this thing. Okay. Current energy for Aries. Ooh, okay. Yeah, so we have a deception. Okay, I do not like this pairing. So this is somebody, it's somebody in this situation is lying and sneaking and cheating and very deceptive. And they also are emotionally manipulative. They could play the victim quite a bit as well, using guilt trips or emotional lies to get what they want. You know, like it doesn't have to be this situation, but this is an example. Somebody that tells you that how much they love you, but they don't. They just need a place to stay, or they need to use your car, or something. Do you know what I mean? Or they want, this could be also kind of like a narcissistic energy where they want like supply from you. So they're like lying and future faking, like making promises for the future they have no intention to keep to get something from you. Especially like it could be like an emotional vampire, you know, somebody who will tell you anything and lie about anything and sneak around just so they can get this emotional attention in some way. I think they feed on it, right? A Don Juan that comes across as more of a victim rather than like a showy, flashy kind of player, more of a poor me sob story. So many terrible things have happened to me, but it's just a manipulation and a lie. So I think that could be somebody that you're dealing with. Okay, let me get a couple more. Okay. But I think that this person makes you happy too, interestingly enough. I think there's a lot of, they might be very passionate and great with their words, and when they come in, it's like a rush of like energy and passion, and they could be like terribly manipulative and victim status, but they also can be like really fun and sunshiny and like bring a lot of positive, like when they're good, but I think they're super manipulative and deceptive as well. Is this person still in Aries' life? Let's ask that. For them, maybe not all of you, but could be some of you. This could, like I said, family member, work person. You don't know. Okay. Again, so I think this person has you confused. I think they have you not knowing what to believe. I think because when they're good, they're so convincing and it seems so positive, and you're like, oh, maybe I was overthinking that person's deceptive behavior before, or there was a reason for it, or maybe like making rationalizations for it and explaining their behavior away for them, but you just don't know. I think you've gotten really confused. They've gotten you really confused, which is probably what they do all the time to everybody. I think this is probably a well-oiled machine that this person has going on. You aren't the first, let's say that. Okay. So I think, yeah, when this person isn't around, you do miss them. I think you might know that they're bad for you and they're quite deceptive and manipulative. And that their words, their sweet romantic words might ring hollow. But you still miss them, right? Because of the good times and the good feelings that they can bring. Let me clarify this. Okay, I think you want to have a new start for stability, but you don't feel very encouraged that that's going to happen. I think you want this happiness and this stability and this new start, or if you guys could, even if you're together, you just want to start over and make it into something stable. But you're not very hopeful that that's actually going to happen. I think you're thinking it's more wishful thinking and delusional at this point that that's going to happen. Doesn't stop one from hoping, though, does it? How does this person feel about Aries? Let's do that. Let's get into that. How does this person feel about the Aries I'm reading for? Or roles reversed, cross watchers, whatever it works. What do we got? How do they feel about Aries? Permission to ask the Oracle. I think they feel like you've been unfair to them in some reason, but don't take that as like that's actually the way it is. It could just be the way that they feel. You know, some people, sorry, I don't mean to laugh. Like some people can be a certain way, like they can think that they're being treated poorly. Like say for instance, someone cheats on you and you catch them by going through their phone and kick them out. Not saying that's the situation, but this is just what it could be like. And then but then they're mad at you because you went through their phone and they got kicked out. And, you know, now they feel like the victim, right? So I think that's the type of situation that this might be in. So I'm not saying you were unfair, but they feel like they've been treated unfairly. And I think they feel like the wounded warrior a bit. Like I think this might have been a really rough situation. I think both of you might feel like you've just been through a fucking war. You know, you're both on guard. This person is on guard, a little like feeling a little suspicious, has their defenses up, which is funny because I think that they might have been the one that was wrong. So it's funny that they feel that some injustice was done to them and that they're defensive now. Let me get the Two of Swords. Okay, so yeah, I think they feel like victimized. This could be a person that creates a lot of problems in their own life, but then plays the victim after. Like they're the one that causes all the problems and all the drama, but then when they have to face the consequences, they don't realize that and they feel like they've been victimized and stabbed in the back. Like I said, say they lied and gambled all the money away and you throw them out. And then now they feel like you stabbed them in the back and hurt them because you kicked them out, and now they're all wounded and defensive and feel like they've been treated unfairly. This seems like a huge victim complex. Somebody who lies, cheats, causes all kinds of problems, and then when shit hits the fan, they feel like, not again, I can't believe this terrible thing is happening to me again, and then they play the victim. Okay? So I think that's the type of character that you're dealing with. And I think you're thinking like, how could you possibly feel like the victim in this situation? But I think they somehow can delude themselves so that they even believe that they're the victim. It's just such a pathway in their brain. They're so used to thinking this way that, and then this person probably also has a long line of people behind them that they say have treated them horribly and mistreated them. And they've been, you know, mistreated and abused so much, one after another. So like how many times can one person have had been abused? And I think you might be starting to think maybe it's them. Maybe it's not all their crazy exes. Maybe it's not their family that cut them off. Maybe it's not all their shitty friends that talk behind their back and don't like them anymore. You're like, maybe it is them that deserves this. Maybe it's them that brings this on themselves, and then they can't see that or don't realize that, and they think that they're being victimized again. Okay. Let's get a... Whew. That's frustrating. I can see why the strength reverse beast within you might have come out. You probably just lost it, right? Codependency. Okay, yeah. So for sure, I think this person is like codependent, massively codependent. So they need you, but then they cause all kinds of problems that push you away. Like they could do something, for instance, like act terribly to try and push you away or ghost you so that they're the ones that leave you first. But then they come back and then they're like, I want to work on it. Just very unstable. I also think that they might, let me just think. Just get another card. They use the manipulation to cover up they just can't be straight. You know, they can't just say I'm feeling insecure or whatever. So they might play mind games or manipulations to try and manipulate you so that you come back or don't leave or you know, it's free. Interesting. Okay, got it. So this person, I think they also might ghost you or say that they don't want like a commitment, a solid commitment, but they're actually incredibly codependent. So they might be non-committal and deceptive, but then they like need other people and they need attention and they need validation and they need emotional support and they make people worry about them. So then that they're taken care of, right? Because that just feeds their codependency. Is this making sense, Aries? I hope so. Okay, so let me do a quick what's up next. They like people to take care of them and worry about them. And, you know, they play the victim so they can get attention and get off the hook for things. I don't think they take responsibility for anything ever. No accountability, no responsibility, and rarely probably even have struggled to apologize because something always made them act that way. And if they do apologize, I don't think it's sincere. I don't think it's sincere because they'll do the same thing again a couple weeks later, a couple months later. Okay, what's coming up for Aries with this person? Yeah. I think, again, there's going to be like a lot of just staying up at night and worrying and thinking and just a lot of confusion and anxiety. I think this person, unfortunately, Aries, I see this person in the near future still bringing a lot of anxiety to you. They may come back and apologize. They may come back and be on their best behavior again. And it's going to be confusing, very confusing, because I think it goes back and forth from deceptive, manipulative person, victim status that causes all this drama, to then seeming like they're going to change and do everything right again. And I don't think you know which one it is. It's both. You know, they're both people. Don't try to think like, oh, is this Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? They're both the same person. There's not one true side of them. Both sides are true. Okay, so I think you might be closed off coming up in the near future. Like, I think that this cup that they're trying to give you, you're just not having it, because I feel like you're thinking all of these cups that were promised before didn't pan out. So then you got another one. So what are you going to add this to the list again of things, empty promises? You know, like how many of these cups are they going to have? 15 eventually, you know what I mean? So I think you're just kind of like not even buying what they're saying at this point, because it's the same shit, right? Like you've heard it again. And so you're seeing this as no different than the other empty false promises. But I do think this stresses you out a lot. So I'm sorry, that's, let me get one more card. Okay, let me just get this energy coming up for Aries. Okay, yeah, so I think you don't want to start this again. I think you don't want to be a fool anymore. And I think you're just, you know the drill with this person now. You've been through it enough now. I think you get it. And you don't want to play the fool anymore. So yeah, okay, let's check in. I'll check in with you in a bit later this month, Aries, and see what's going on. So take care of yourself out there, all right?